When I first saw Chloe for her art therapy was 5 years ago, she couldn't even hold a pencil properly. So sometimes what we want to do is we want to empower different individuals by giving them different art projects to do, which also builds not only builds their portfolio, but builds their sense of self-concept, self-confidence, that they can be more, they can do more.
Yeah. Hello and welcome to Quiet Ripples, a podcast where we speak to everyday Singaporeans doing extraordinary things for Singaporeans. Today we have Amanda and Gabriel from Art for Good. Say hi! Alright, thank you for joining us today. Maybe we'll have a round of introductions first. We can start with Amanda.
Yep. Hi, I'm Amanda from Art for Good. I'm an art therapist at Art for Good. I do a lot of art therapy-based projects at Art for Good, where we actually use art as a way of healing, and as well as engagement for mental well-being and mental health. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Gabriel. I run the operations for Art for Good. At the same time, I work on community art projects to engage the community.
Yeah, let's talk about your roles in Art for Good.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so as I mentioned, I run the operations the day-to-day for Art for Good, the back end of things like running the website, getting things up. So when there are deliveries for our customers who want our products, I'll do the deliveries, arrange all of them. And then I do the community projects as well. So the bigger ones where we engage the community. One such example of a project is with CapitaLand, their 40th anniversary. We did a bench art program where we painted benches. Yeah, for CapitaLand, they had 40 benches. Then we got the artists we bought the paintings from the artists, and then we imprinted those paintings onto the benches. And those benches are actually now available for the public to use. Most of them are at the Science Park. I think there are 9 now at the National Library.
Oh, wow.
So this is one of the projects that we do.
Yeah. Maybe for Amanda, your role in Art for Good.
Well, I oversee most of the projects that come through to see whether we fulfill the mission of whether we are really using art to create some good. If it is an art therapy-based type of project, that's actually where I come in and actually lead those projects as well. I do a lot of work with children from low-income families, persons with special needs and disabilities, and also the aging population dementia care. So working with different communities to bring together different objectives and different aims, but we're really looking at overall mental health and well-being and how we can support them. So one of the projects that actually came up from some of our art as well as art programs for those with special needs is giving them a platform to sell their artwork, as well as provide them a portfolio so that it really attributes to a different self-concept, self-identity, as well as self-confidence.
Let's talk about how you started Art for Good.
The starting point actually was kind of a little bit of a kick, right? So I was actually pretty contented just serving clients, working independently.
So you're doing art therapy before?
Yes, that's right. So I've been an art therapist for 10 years. So Art for Good has only been around for about 7 years. So as an art therapist, I was freelancing, working with different organizations on my own to provide art therapy services. So one of the organizations that I've worked with is called the Red Pencil. This is the only art therapy charity in Singapore. I still do work with the Red Pencil to date because I find that their work is also meaningful. Yeah. But sometimes art therapy is not that accessible, especially to people who can't afford it. Therapy costs range from $90 to $200 per hour.
Oh, wow.
So you can see that people from the lower income might not be able to afford it. So then that's where they need to rely on different organizations and different charities to be able to afford it. So it's also about looking at how something as beneficial as art therapy, how we can actually apply that to the community and make that more accessible as well. So that's also where and how I decided that I wanted to start Art for Good. And I believe that it came full circle for me because of all the different things that I was doing. Creating Art for Good made sense. And then, of course, once you create an organization, you do need the correct people to help you move it forward. And then I was very blessed to have Gabriel join me along for this journey as well, because this type of work is very difficult to do on your own.
Yes, for
So
sure.
you do need very reliable and capable people, and also very compassionate people, because this is not something that it's not an easy journey that is easy to go on, because there are a lot of sacrifices that you have to make, and a lot of giving in this journey as well.
Yeah.
So compassion and empathy is really needed on this journey. So you can hear how Gabriel joined me at this point.
Gabriel's joining story.
Yes, Gabriel's joining story.
Okay, how did I join Art for Good? Basically, prior to Art for Good, I was working for an organization called CARIS, short for Caritas Humanitarian Aid Relief Initiatives of Singapore under the Catholic Church. I ran a lot of mission programs. My main goal there was to run missions overseas for disasters in other countries, as well as having a team of volunteers to do these missions with me. We had a program with Red Pencil actually, where we wanted to bring art therapists to Philippines to help during the Typhoon Haiyan, where we wanted to cater to the children and the women of the affected areas. And we had a program where I actually met Amanda again. So we were actually church friends, and by chance we met again, and I said, hey, I didn't know you were doing this. So she was looking at Myanmar, and I had a Myanmar program as well that we were going to. So when I left Caris after 4 years, she wrote me in to start up Art for Good as a charity, and that's where I suggested to her, let's not do it as a charity, but maybe an in-between, a social enterprise, where as a charity there are a lot of rules and regulations that we have to follow, and sometimes making decisions you require a board of directors to make the decisions, whereas as a social enterprise we can make the decisions and we don't get our hands tied that much. So that's where I came in to help looking at what projects we can do where we can function as both as a charity and as an enterprise.
And so just like I briefly mentioned, art therapy is beneficial for your clients. Maybe you can talk about what kind of benefits.
It's basically psychology using that helps an individual or a group, but an additional tool that art comes to complement it. Sometimes, for example, it's very difficult for people to sit down and talk about problems or issues, and then art can be a way to, if you do a small art activity, you can help to kind of bridge that conversation. It also helps you to organize your thoughts and plan what you want to say before you actually say it. It helps you with processing, it helps you with reflection. It depends on who you're helping as well. For example, if we're doing work with dementia patients, you're looking at engagement. Sometimes you're looking at tapping into different memory sources, different parts of the brain. Seniors tend to think art is a waste of time and push it off, but once they actually engage in the process, it's actually a very different kind of outcome. They actually stay with the process longer, they realize they enjoy it, and they add so much personality and character to it, so you can actually see different identities and personalities come out, and then they are able to confidently tell more stories, to converse better and to connect socially as well. So these are the key elements when we are talking about patients with dementia. Let's say we are using art therapy to work with persons with special needs. Also depends on the age group, also depends on the different level of functioning. Medium to high functioning, you can do a lot more reflective type of work. Low functioning, you're looking a lot more on occupational therapy. You're also looking at simplifying emotions and feelings so that they can connect with that process better. Those who are non-verbal, is helping them put meaning and communication to what they're doing, and art is a very powerful medium to enable them to do that. So it's a more complex way of working, but it is also a very effective way of working with different individuals and groups that need this type of support. It's just that therapy itself, no matter what type of therapy you engage in, tends to be more expensive. Yeah.
I think that's also one. It's a very tricky situation in Singapore because you do have it's available.
Yeah.
There are a lot of outlets available. It's
Yeah.
just, there are a lot of factors like cost and
Yeah.
like you say, so your target audience or your clientele is mostly lower income.
Yeah, I do have a mixture of different clients as well. And then I think it's very important to listen to what the needs are. I find that it is most beneficial to work with different organizations. So one such organization was Rare Disorder Society of Singapore, who believe in mental health and therapy. So they provide a budget for their beneficiaries so that therapy can become affordable, that it is subsidized to some extent, that they are able to reach support.
Let's talk about some stigmas that you guys face daily, anytime.
Okay, I think some of the stigmas we face is usually when we have clients who come with the thinking of the usual taboo that we hear, that I have a mental illness and I'm going to a clinic, it's an issue, and then my friends make fun of me, that kind of thing. So the wonderful thing about it for us is, I think, how we tackled it on our end was we came up with a studio, and instead of having a very clinical room where it's white walls and you can smell the hospital smell and that kind of thing, we turn it more into an art gallery of sorts. So it's a little bit more comfortable, and then there's a privacy screen to ensure that people who do walk by our studio don't invade their privacy in that sense. And it's also a good thing that we are in a very quiet location, so the footfall there is not very high, and it's more comfortable for our clients and our beneficiaries. So that gets away the taboo also of them, like, when they come to us, sometimes they have their personal issues. Then they do share some of this, and they tend to cry. So being in a quiet place, a secluded place, and a protected space, I think helps with that mentality.
I think it falls on the similar trajectory that if you seek mental health support, that there's something wrong with you. So I think there has been a lot of re-education in this area where it is okay to seek mental health support, but you are also working with the older adults, even up to seniors, who still feel that this is a big issue. And sometimes when even the parents are the ones that have the mental health issues, they tend to push back and deny it and kind of just put it all on their child. If they don't believe in art therapy and the child does receive it and does enjoy it, ultimately it boils down to the caregiver, the parent, who will actually support or stop the art therapy support that the child might need. So that can also be pretty sad to see, that you can see the child making headway and progress, but the parent just saying no and stepping away because of whether they don't like the therapist or whether they don't like the fees. Sometimes the parents are also the cause of the child's emotional distress when they don't handle some of these situations and things properly. So that's also one of the challenges where we also really need to educate the people who are giving the support to the child of how to better manage the situation to actually really help the child.
Let's talk about some challenges that you guys face at Art for Good.
One of the challenges is that because we're a social enterprise, we lose out on some of the projects because we don't fall under a non-profit or charity type of status. Sometimes because they want like double tax exemption, they want us to have an IPC status, therefore they will not purchase some of the products from us because we don't fall under that category, which is really sad because we still fall under the category of trying to create good and trying to create social impact, and also trying to help different individuals with disabilities as well. So just because we are not a charity doesn't mean that we are not creating good. So it's kind of a big challenge to overcome because of that type of stigma as well.
And then let's talk about some art forms that Art for Good provides.
It's not so much of the art forms that's important in art therapy. A wide range of art mediums are used in art therapy. The goal and objective here will be for mental health and mental well-being. A lot of times there is therapeutic elements in the actual art making process, but if you're talking about art therapy, then it's more specifically attuned to emotional well-being and mental health and mental well-being. So a lot of the directives as well as the art making processes are geared towards that approach. So the art therapist would recommend what type of mediums to be introduced, how they'll be used, especially if you work with persons with disability, what are the limitations, what's the suitability, would this aggravate the client or will it create more calm? So that's where that knowledge of art mediums and of the client comes into play, and what will be helpful rather than harmful. Yeah.
Okay, and with that said, you actually brought us some amazing artwork from your clients.
So this one's actually done by Janelle. So she's actually one of the RDSS beneficiaries who have undergone the art therapy program. For her, she is actually bedbound, which means she can't leave the bed. So the type of art that can be used has to be more simplified. So she did want to create something on canvas, or they wanted her to create something on canvas, which she actually did 3 pieces of this, but this is more off-grid printing. Yeah, so 2 of her pieces have been sold, but she can only do very simple things. So what might be very simple for us to do is actually quite difficult and quite a feat for someone like Janelle to do. Yeah.
This was it lino print, or was it?
Yeah, it's stamping, stencil and stamping. Yeah.
Okay.
And then for her to position it in a way that actually looks like a flower is also quite creative on her part. Love and flowers. Yeah. Okay. This is Chloe. So for her, she did a mixed medium. So she would do clay fish, and then she would do a background in acrylic paint. For her, she likes very pastel colors. She also likes, nowadays she's into a very water theme. So this is one of the more recent works that she's actually done. So Chloe has SMA2, which is spinal muscular atrophy, where she's wheelchair bound. So a lot of her artworks are actually small, cute like this. And she actually does a lot of detail, and she works on a smaller space.
Yeah, I personally like this because I'm a water baby. So for Chloe, so spinal muscular atrophy.
Yeah.
So what does that mean?
It means that there's muscular degeneration, especially throughout the whole body, especially the legs and the spine.
Okay, so she tends to want to make smaller ones, or did the psychologist or the therapist decide on that?
Oh, she likes, also being a girl, she likes small, cute things.
Like
she does
cute
pay
things.
attention to detail. She likes pastel colors. These are also some of the things that she's made. Also
this is
small,
also Chloe?
cute. Yes, also by Chloe.
Yeah, please.
So she does crochet. And then for this one, we actually managed to get her a project with National Library Board, where they have a section to make the library more accessible to persons with disabilities. So they actually have a mascot, which is a purple heart called Iris. So she was commissioned
so this
to
is
do
Iris.
70 purple hearts, but this one doesn't have the blush. The one with National Library does have.
Yeah.
So this is just one of the different things that she makes. Yeah. So recently, for Chloe, she did have operation on the spine. So she couldn't actually sit up and do a lot of things, and then she had a 2-month break from school.
Yeah.
So one of the things she really got into was crochet. So really using art as a way forward for healing and meaning making as well, and also getting a project. So sometimes what we want to do is we want to empower different individuals by giving them different art projects to do, which also builds not only builds their portfolio, but builds their sense of self-concept, self-confidence, that they can be more, they can do more.
Yeah, and these are two very different forms, 2 very different mediums.
Yeah.
This one is, paint. So she's very, very good with her hands. Like crochet, I could never.
Yeah.
I've tried, but
So when
not
I
very
first
good.
saw Chloe for her art therapy was 5 years ago, she couldn't even hold a pencil properly. So a lot of these things also include occupational therapy, really having the motivation to wanting to be creative and work with your hands. Art making itself can be really fun and motivating. So that's for Chloe, that really worked out for her.
I know you said you start with an 8-session plan, right?
Yes.
For most clients.
Yeah.
But how do you assess that this person might take a little bit more or might need more sessions? And because you've been with Chloe. Chloe's been with you guys for 5 years now.
Yes. So we actually work on different goals. There are different stages, what we call life stages, where they need different types of support. So for her initial engagement, it was her transition from kindergarten into primary school. So there was also the concern of how she would do with a change of environment. So that was, and how she felt about that. Yeah. And then as school progressed, how that was for her, that journey was for her, and to give her that emotional support through that process. Yeah. And her love for art was one of the things that kept her going. I think what worked for Chloe is that because she is in a wheelchair, it's not that accessible for her to move around. And usually most children can go for art class, dance class, go for a lot of different enrichment programs. So for her, her choices would be more limited. So having the therapist go to them and give them that support made it easier for Chloe to kind of continue this art therapy schedule for a longer period of time. So this art piece is actually by Titus. So Titus is the youngest of three children, of which all three of them have special needs.
Oh,
okay. Titus has a rare disorder, so it's an immunity deficiency disorder, which means that he needs to go and have enzyme transfusion every month because his immunity is low. So he recently had appendicitis, and then he had a long rest at home. He was hospitalized for almost a week. So he did this prior to his hospitalization. So Titus has a very keen interest in music. So for him, he loves to play the flute, and he also plays the piano. So for him, he has a favorite piece called River Flows in You by Iruma, of which he titled this piece after that because of the different colors, the different flows, where he also put in different music notes, some of which actually comes from the actual music score. So, if you can read the music notes, which I cannot, but if you can, some of it is actually from the piece, the actual piece River Flows in You. So this was a musically inspired piece. It's also one of his favorite pieces that he's created. So this is one of the paintings, like Chloe's painting, that's online that can be sold if people would like to support. So the proceeds actually go directly to the families. We will take some to cover the delivery costs and different costs that we have incurred on our end, but majority of the funds go towards the families. Yep. Okay, also done by Titus is this piece, that's the sunflower piece notebook here. So we do have different corporates who adopt different projects. So they adopted his piece and the token sum was given to Titus. This one was adopted by AccuView.
Oh, the contact lens.
Yeah. So we do have a lot of people who do support artists with disabilities by printing on different merchandise. So also to give a better idea of what we can do in terms of different areas that we can put artwork on, we have this one by Titus's brother Lucas. These are blue flowers which he painted for his mom. We made them into coasters, and we also have a small eco bag.
And these are all available online?
Yes.
On Art for Good?
Yeah.
Art for Good website.
Okay.
Art for Good website, everybody.
Yeah, Art for Good website. One of them actually felt a very big sense of achievement when he actually sold the first one. So he was actually very sad for a long time that, why is no one buying my things? But we can't control who or when people buy things. So when you do make a purchase, you will be also making one child really, really happy that having sold his work or her work. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's very empowering for the children, especially because they've gone through so much. They've already gone through so much, and these little achievements, it's very empowering for the children.
Yes. And that's also one of the reasons why we decided to do this. Not so much for it to be a money generating machine, but really to build that sense of empowerment.
All that said, what do you think the ripple effect Art for Good is creating in this community?
What do I think?
Ripple effect.
I think one is because we work with children with rare disorders, a sustainable program for them. So in the past, I think the caregivers take full care of these children, and then when, not to put it in light, but if let's say the caregivers were to go, pass on, or there's a change in caregiver, how does the child then, when they grow up, get sustainable income for themselves? So I think we are starting to help, like simple things, getting them to paint, being a platform for them to sell their artworks as a stepping stone. Hopefully it motivates them to run a business of their own, find partners who can work with them to bring it further. That's where I think it's where we are going.
I think for the ripple effect, what comes to mind is that once you help an individual with their mental health and well-being and emotional well-being, they become better individuals to be able to be part of the community and to serve the society. So then that causes a ripple effect that if they are able to be in a good headspace and be in a good space, if you have good mental health, there is a certain wealth that comes with it that benefits not only the individual but the group, the community, the society, and the world. Looking at that as bigger kind of ripple effect. I mean, we might be very small, so we like the really small pebble that Africa is being thrown into the ocean or the river of things. And I think that as long as we help even just one individual, that can also just be that catalyst to make that difference.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful, a catalyst. And so we've talked a lot about how you guys support all your beneficiaries. But what keeps you going?
I think one of the things that keeps me going and keeps me motivated is seeing how people actually glow and grow from this whole process. You can see when somebody receives that unmet need that they're looking for, they just suddenly, there's a whole change in demeanor. There's a whole change in that whole physical state because the mental state has changed as well. So sometimes a simple thing can generate such a big change. So when you see that in the face of the person that you're helping, I think that's something that really motivates me to wanting to be part of this helping agency, to be able to benefit and help others.
So it's like you uplifted them so that they can uplift you.
In that sense. Yes, absolutely.
How about yourself, Gabriel?
For me, I have this motto. I saw this motto when I was very young. The phrase going, never look down at someone unless you're helping someone up. So I believe in that very strongly myself. Because when I was a younger kid, I had school peers who bullied me, and it was another peer who helped me out of it. That got me going. So I think for myself, it's really helping others. Sometimes even myself, when I'm out there's a wall in front of my face and I don't know how to get past it. It's really very uplifting and very encouraging when someone else comes to pull you up.
It's nice to have seen the art therapy scene grow for the past 10 years. What I'm hoping to see is that, of course, art therapy being more robust in the scene, more accepted as well as a profession rather than us being seen as art teachers or somebody to give free art services sometimes. As really a profession that helps mental health and well-being. And of course, you do need a community of people to do that. And sometimes it just takes one or two individuals to start that first. And hopefully that scene will look brighter and improve as it has over the past 10 years and continue to improve as well.
Thank you so much for joining us today at Quiet Ripples. And if you liked our content, remember to hit like, share, and subscribe. And this is, once again, Art for Good. And if you'd like to look for them and buy their products that are made by the beneficiaries, the website will be here. Alright, and that's it from Amanda and Gabriel. Thank you so much for spending so much time with us under this nice warm weather today. And we'll see you next time. Bye!